Yeah, so I'm pretty sure you heard about what happened with GameStop, Robinhood, and then Google covering it up about deleting 100,000 reviews that knocked Robinhood down to one because Robinhood basically blocked all those people that made that happen from buying any more stocks with GameStop, basically, forcing them to go down in favor of the people that basically had investments in them. But the interesting thing about this is what it implicates. There was a billionaire that came out and he was like, man, they use those stimulus checks to like basically try and get back at us rich people and stuff. They're trying to stick it to us, man. And I'm just like, really? They're worried about $600 checks, bro. $600 checks? No wonder they don't want us having money. And then it dawned on me, like he really seemed afraid. I was like, this is what they fear the numbers of the people for. This is what they fear the people for. They don't really fear them so much for like rioting or whatever. They, I know they fear us if we really came together and got physical with them too. But I think more than anything, they fear us coming together to control the market in our favor or to boycott their companies that are doing stuff we don't want. And, like stuff like that. Because that's extremely powerful, as you just saw. People are making millions off it. And that's why they want people at their 9 to 5s. I was just talking to my boy Morpheus about it. So y'all can't be, knowing what's going on in the stock market that goes on at the same time while you're at work. And so you can't really work on it, but it's just so obvious at the end of the day. This is why they killed Martin Luther King. Because Martin Luther King came up with the same plan to like boycott companies that were against them or whatever that were causing problems, or to or to work in the stock market and stuff like that. So that's really the gist of it. This exposed how powerful the people are in reality. Like, for example, if you had just 100 million people and every single one of them put $1,000 into a stock, that stock would be one of the top stocks off the bat because that's 100, what, $1 billion right there. That's $100 billion just from them all putting $1,000 into it. And then if they actually put 10,000, that's a trillion fucking dollars, bro. Ain't none of them got that kind of money. The enemies, like they're all just like billionaires. That would like force some of their moves. Like that would force them to make some moves, like the banks and all that are really the trillionaires and all that kind of stuff. And I'm pretty sure that's exactly why they fear us because they don't really trust each other. They don't want to really, and they're actually having some kind of inside fighting and stuff. Like for example, from my boy Morpheus's insight, he deduced that basically Trump was, I think he was a Mason. He based that around how he did all this union stuff. He was helping out the unions and all that kind of stuff, which is what the Masons are all about, like that kind of stuff. And then the other group was the Illuminati. Like Clinton was one of them. But they're friends at the end of the day, but they were still like having this little battle over power and all that kind of stuff. He called it a white privilege war. He was so fucking funny, dude. Like, and real at the same time. But what was I gonna say? So basically, they don't, they fear us coming together. Basically, that's the gist of it. To be able to make such moves, because for example, you could open a stock. Most of the stocks are just Ponzi schemes. Like everything is like basically Ponzi schemes. And open up a company, and it's real cheap at the beginning, and then just put all that money into it, and then it blows up, makes the company really effective because it has all those funds. At the same time, everybody that put money in it got rich because it started off so cheap, and because all the money, all of it goes up, just like they did with GameStop. Even if there wasn't any short bidding, um, betting, they still would have made a lot of money because the stocks went up from a low to a up. It's really good to do that kind of stuff, and they don't want us to notice. That's why they have so much money. You can see all this win. This is what they've been doing so long, like since the election. It's crazy. But what was I gonna say? That's why all these rich people have so much money in the stock market. They own like 80% of it or 90% of it or something. and like 80% of regular people don't have any money in the stock market. And that's why I didn't want to put any money into Tesla, because I figured they'd be doing some kind of, if they watch a certain amount of people put money into it, they're playing games with Tesla. Like, they're overvaluing it right now. And this is probably one of the best times to probably short bid them, but I wouldn't do it simply because they're probably going to play some games with it or whatever. And that's how they can make a lot of money with it, because they can basically control whether it goes up or down. And for example, like, a lot of companies came into it after a lot of regular people came into Tesla. And then after that, so they could make their money, they had the banks, not the banks, but basically something that the people pay for, but it's related to the banks. I forget what it was, that has to do something when it gets to a certain point or something like that. I'm sorry, I don't remember it off the top of my head, but they have to do it. It's guaranteed. That's how these guys work. They work with guarantees. And that made it go up a lot higher. So then they made their money from being the guys that put in this much after the regular people brought up this much, And then that thing that had to do the rest brought up this much. So they made a lot of money. You know what I mean? And they get to sell it now or whenever they decide to do it. And I know because of the way they are, they're going to make it unpredictable. Like right now, it'd be a very likely time to try and short them. But I just know how they think, like they try to make it seem one way, but it's not, you know what I mean? And so like basically because of that, they can make a lot of money. And then even without even doing something like that, it could be as simple as just opening a business. We make someone rich with their business. And then we all get rich in the process. It's real simple. This is ABC shit. This is what they're afraid of. Because we could get money. We could get paid and then take the power back from them. Because the power's with the people at the end of the day. That's pretty much the video, man. Like, also, COVID. COVID, like, the reason they're doing COVID as well is because, like, people are probably boycotting them, not watching their TV channels, all that kind of stuff. They're losing money. You know how people are. Like, we were really doing that. And I believe that they did COVID and try and get a stranglehold over that again, so they could get rid of all their competition and all that. We already know what I'm talking about. So you see how it works. It's really about stock. Because think about it. Once those businesses are not performing well because of this, they're not going to get any stocks. Nobody's going to invest in it. They're thinking about global market, global investment. And then they want to lead this investment back to like internationalist companies like Walmart, obviously, and Amazon. But also they want to lead it back to China businesses that they're trying to develop. Because China took a little hit, and they're being little bitches about it. You see, they got hurt that much by that little bitty effect that they were affected by. They got opened up quicker than anybody else for the most part. And they were hardly affected by it compared to what they've done to us in America. And they couldn't handle. They're little bitches, bro. They're so spoiled. They're like, oh no, we can't. And then this is why they disappear all the billionaires in China. They disappear them because they're gonna take the money. People think these guys are super untouchable. Like, they really have to, like, keep people in the dark about how they're making their money and all this kind of stuff. And once people realize it, it's just like the internet. People didn't know about a lot of things, so now the internet has made it so that people know how to do stock, all kinds of stuff. Real estate, they crashed all that. Most people make their money off real estate, so that are not, already set and so rich that it doesn't matter what they do. Like, they start off with real estate and all that kind of stuff. And, that's based around rent for the most part. Flipping is a little bit harder to do. It's a little bit more of a gamble, but renting seems to work a lot more effective from what I've been hearing. Flipping works too, though. But basically, like, they wanted to slow down the rent. That's why they won't allow people to have, it's real obvious that they should have just got rid of taxes as far as like on the properties. So then there'd be no reason to charge, rent or whatever. Then and nobody would lose anything until this pandemic was taken care of, and wouldn't have to print all this money and cause inflation, which is also going to make people lose money. A lot of people do savings and stuff like that, and just things are going to lose value or whatever. And if people that can't pay their house rent, taxes and all that kind of stuff, because other people can't pay the rent to them, they're going to lose all that, and then all the chaos that's going to happen, and the house is going to lose value because people are going to be depressed and mistreating the houses and stuff. So it's a really well plot out thing, and it's really coming back to the stocks, but also other things that are important like real estate. And they're really just trying to get rid of all these people that were starting to make money. It's the middle class. The middle class is millionaires. Like I know 10 millionaires personally. A lot of them in my family, like friends of mine, stuff like that. It's a lot of millionaires as far as their assets and all that kind of stuff. This is middle class. And then this upper middle class, it's like a lot of millions. And then, really rich is like billionaires, and trillionaires are like, they don't even want you to know about them. But now you see where I'm coming. And this is why they killed Martin Luther King, because he was going to have them start acting in that way. And then they would have saw how effective it was. And they would just snowballed after that. So that's why they took him out. And now, so that's why they don't like Bitcoin, because it's something they can't control. They can't manipulate it. And that's why they started passing these laws so that they could mess around with digital currencies and have some power over it. They gave it to the mail industry through blockchain or something like that. They were just trying to get monopoly over blockchain. So then they can take over the digital currency thing and the stocks involved in that. You see? Always comes back to these type of things. And this is what they fear about the people. This is what really our power. A lot of people have made a lot of money off Bitcoin. Like these kind of things, you see? So it's really simple. We need to come together and just start just pick someone. We're like, you're gonna be filthy fucking rich. Like, and then all of us get rich in the process. How broken is that? And then, or we could just be like, do what they did to the rich guys that were fucking with GameStop. And then, like, if we don't like them, we could fuck with them like that. And they only got like billions in each one of their individual hands, and neither one of them want to do any risk. I know how these guys are. They don't want to do any risk. So, like we could totally play them as a people as a whole, just putting out 1,000 out of 100,000 of us. Imagine if we had 1 billion people. That's why they're so afraid of people in China as well. They keep them so ultra poor. Because if those people actually had money like they deserve, oh my God, they could really dominate the fucking rich people there. Really dominate them, because it's billions. It's over 1 billion of them. So you got 1 billion people. They put 1,000 in, just 1,000 each. That's fucking 1 trillion off the bat for 1,000. That's power. That is power. Or they could put $100 in. That's 100 billion. That's a lot of fucking. You see the power? Oh my God, dude! I don't know how I didn't see this earlier. And my boy Moise is always trying to get me in these kind of group things. Really where it's like just like the Nazarenes did. Everybody was sharing together, but it wasn't so political. Obviously. But yeah, we have the power. I want y'all to know that. That's why they fear us. That's why they fear us. We have all the power, dude. We could totally take it to them, man. All right, y'all. All right, peace.